haven't done one of these in so long, Ben.
Really?
So,
When was the last time?
The last in-person one, I guess, would have been with Jack in the basement, but the last episode, that would have been like 3 months ago.
Basement?
Yeah, we have a
basement.
Show me right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, bring the camera.
Do I have to put shoes on?
Bring the camera.
Bring the
Do I have to
camera.
put shoes on?
Yeah, you would want to.
Yeah.
Why would you would want to? What is that?
I would want to, so you would definitely want to.
Do you think I'm more high maintenance than you?
No, I think you're a little more, particular about what touches your
Posh?
feet.
Posh?
Particular about what touches your feet is
And-
what I was saying, not posh. Particular about touching your feet. 5 words, not 1.
Yeah, but posh is an acronym. Particular.
About
Sucking
touching core
core
heat. All right.
Look at that ass.
All right, everybody, we are journeying to the basement because Ben does not believe it exists, despite it appearing in a previous episode.
We get a shot of the Chippendale.
Yeah, of course.
If there was a basement, I would have seen it. Like,
Yeah.
Basement?
Yeah.
I already feel like that looks creepy.
Oh, come on, you put in.
It's not creepy. It's not creepy, Ben. It's not scary, bro.
All right.
I told him it's in the bulkhead the other day. He was like, "What bulkhead? That bulkhead, bro."
Bro, that just got there.
That's been there.
You're using all this, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of the Evan Here's Culture campaign. It's been a while, it's been a long time, but boy have we got an exciting guest for our return. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the manager of the great Team Liquid's League of Legends team, and he is also a producer of various roadside attractions around town, all sorts of shows and whatnot. It is the great Benjamin Zieper. Ben,
Let me
how
introduce
are
my
you?
host. He's tall and white.
But he doesn't bite.
Evan!
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Today, Ben, what are we talking about? Snail Mail's 2018 album, Lush.
It was 2018, really?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
not that long ago. It was within recent memory. So,
It's red.
yes.
That's maybe the first thing we show. It's very red. And it
The
feels
cover.
red.
But there's a great blue.
A great
as
blue.
well.
A
That
great blue.
contrast. That
Yeah.
red.
And then the red again.
Yeah.
But it feels red. And then it does feel a little blue. And then inside it feels
And
a
then
little
it bounces right back. I think there might be a little white separating that red and that blue, but maybe I'm misremembering a little square.
No, well, you might be right. You might be right.
Yeah. We'll pull it up later and we'll teach
The album
is
It's great. It's great. It's a great album. I'll give you context as to why I'm here for this album. I got into this album when it came out. It was between our freshman and sophomore year of college, when I was in high school, college. I was home for the summer. Heat Wave dropped, and it's a great song. It's a great song. I was listening to Heat Wave and Leave It in My Dreams of the Void, back to back, non-stop for maybe 6 months. Heat Wave was my most played song of the year that year. Pristine was number 5. And it's just all around a great album. The thing that I remember about the album so much that struck me again tonight is that even though I listened to it so much, I still can't really tell you what most of the songs sound like based on the name alone. I feel like sonically they're all very
If I said
similar.
Deep Sea.
I know Deep
Is
Sea
anything
goes.
coming to
Deep
mind?
Sea, yeah, I know Deep Sea goes.
Okay.
Deep Sea, Heat Wave, Pristine. Speaking terms, I feel like are very
Golden
distinct.
Dream.
I would be able to do this. Full Control has a very distinct chorus. It's all the ones that have the words in their chorus, basically, that are memorable. Yes.
So you found the album through like a playlist, or did you know of Snail Mail going into that?
No, I think it probably. I think Heat Wave probably showed up in my Discover Weekly, and I listened to the full album. And it was really good, and it just was the album of the summer. It's such it's sonically like the guitar. It's such a fun guitar. Even though it's a depressing album, it's a great driving album. I felt.
It's interesting, based on the cover, which we were talking about earlier, I had sort of felt that it was going to be, I thought it was going to be sort of a bedroom pop, shoegazy
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. And so I was surprised to find out, it was very much more indie rock. The bedroom sensibility is there, but I thought it was closer to something in indie rock.
But you're right, it does portray itself. If I saw the album cover, I would think it's some Claros type. Yeah. That album also came out, in my opinion, at the peak of Claro. Mm-hmm. That was like when that look and like that style of album cover, I feel like, was very popping.
And then the tragedy is they're both our age, and they're so much more successful.
It's not really our age.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, yeah, Lindsay Jordan is 23 as
well.
So she's outpacing me in success by far.
Outpacing
You know,
well.
probably about the same. Probably about the same level.
Yeah. What's her relationship with Lucy Dacus and those people?
I don't know if she has much of a relationship.
I think she has
with
a relationship. There's Lucy Dacus, her, and one other.
Julian Baker.
Maybe Julian Baker, yeah. There's something that the three of them have done together. That's how I found Lucy Dacus. Mm-hmm. And I say
through the snail mail to Lucy Dacus pipeline.
Yeah.
So, I was very kind of excited for this album, just because I sensed, just based on the cover as we were discussing, and the fact that
Did you listen to it before?
No, I've never listened to it before.
Had you heard any of the songs before?
No, I've never heard a single Snail Mail song before, but we're so delayed with the show that I did first listen to this album back in December. So, and I'm probably, just because I keep needing to refresh to remember every time I think I'm about to make the episode, I've probably heard it 10 times, this album, which is significantly more than a lot of the other albums on
And what did you think, how has it changed over those 10 times?
Well, I would say that first time listening to it, when I was really excited about it, I was kind of underwhelmed because, as I had said, I had kind of a misapprehension of what it was going to sound like. And also, because she's our age, and she was 18, 19 at the time, there's a youth to the lyrics and almost a simplicity that I didn't love the first time. As you know, in Christine, it feels like the same party every weekend. It feels sort of, I don't want to say infantile because that feels mean, but immature. It is immature on that cusp of reaching maturity. And at first I was like, I feel like I want something that cuts a little deeper, is a little bit more trades and more specifics. But then the second time through, that was when my opinion flipped, because I was like, no, that's not that's a virtue. Mm-hmm. That's something it has going on that's actually great about it, is because of the sort of simplicity. It reaches a universality in its own way, right? So, also, we're still children at heart.
Yeah,
it does feel like
I was listening to this album on the car ride over, trying to see if there's any type of lyric that stuck out to me, and truly none of it sticks out to me. The simple lines really sound nice. Like he waves that, "Give it up, green eyes." It's so easy to just be like, color of eye as the peak of a chorus, but it's cute at the same time. Like I'm thinking, like, damn, who's old green eyes? And like in full control, full control, I'm not yours, even when it's lost. It's like, what does that even? Those three things sound like completely separate ideas.
Yeah. One of my favorite lyric moments is in Stick, which you haven't seen it brought up. I really like that song. But the lyrics, and did things work out for you?
Yep.
Are you still not sure what that means? It doesn't, as I was saying, it doesn't have a lot of, proper nouns or anything in the lyric, but it is able to actually, that was, because I've been listening to a lot of sort of indie music that is very specific in the details, but this, having stripped back, actually, I think, once you are able to embrace that, does reach out to you, it does connect with you, the listener. I don't know if you felt the same way about it.
I just always thought it was very easy to understand, which I guess is the same thing you're saying. But I wasn't looking for depth. I was looking for. This is when I was really going through my Strokes phase. So I was just looking for really rockin' guitar
Yeah.
with beautiful voice.
And she's a great guitarist.
And great
really
singer.
good. And it feels like, it's once again, it's not, big showy guitar parts or anything. It's subtle nuances, almost
It's
in
loud.
the emotion of how the guitar
totally,
is played,
totally.
what's coming out.
It's also
there.
interesting because I think that first song, Anytime, is the first song?
There's the intro, which Anytime is the last song,
But
but the
the intro
intro
is
is like the chorus of Anytime, or one of the refrains, yeah.
That one, I think, sounds so different than the rest of the album. That one almost has the element of bedroom pop as the prevailing noise, and then the rest of it is just hard guitar. But I read that she said when making this album, she really wanted to make a guitar-driven album, which she did.
Yeah, especially, I think Pristine, which is kind of one of the biggest songs.
I think it's
that
probably
came
second
popular.
biggest song of the album.
Yeah, has sort of rock-driven guitar, more so than any of the other songs,
totally.
which are more subtle.
The
That
other
is,
ones are like just truly like your stoned music. Like it's a lot of noise. It's kind of overwhelming, but like it's nice.
yeah, the guitar part's incredibly solid. As you said, she does have a beautiful voice.
Fantastic voice.
And it's interesting. There's that little bit of like a nasal bite to it, but not quite. It's still got
everything.
And I want better for you. Almost a little bit of twang in there, sort of, but more so how I'm parodying it.
Sure, a little bit of twang.
But yeah, it is. I don't know. It is very emotional music, but it didn't. This is actually when we first talked. When you were saying, "Oh, I could be the guest on that album," it's because you were talking to me about this album and saying one thing that you, I don't know if you didn't like it or did like it, but that it's very flat vocally.
I like it, but once again, it makes it difficult to distinguish. I think some of the less memorable songs.
Yeah.
That's what always happens with some albums that sound the same vocally, and truly, like, it's a guitar-driven album, but there's not really any song that has any elements of anything that's not guitar.
Yeah.
So, Stick, Golden Dream,
I do like Let's Find It Out.
Let's Find It Out. Like, they're all kind of blend together.
They do. I mean, Let's Find It Out is like notable. I think it's like the shortest song on the album, so it's like a nice 2-minute. Explores all its ideas pretty quickly, which is why I like it. But it does, besides that, kind of blend together with a lot of the other ones.
I feel like if someone who's not into really heavy, I think if I showed this album to my friends, they'd say I really liked Pristine and Heatwave. I think that's what they would say.
Heatwave really didn't jump out to me.
Really, I think it's the biggest song on the album.
I think you're right about that, but for me, the tracks were Pristine, Stick, kind of Let's Find It Out. Anytime, I love that last song.
Really? So for me, it's
Heatwave.
Heatwave.
Stick around, come on.
Which one?
Stick.
Did things work out for you?
Yeah.
It's good, but for me, it's Heatwave, Pristine, Full Control, fucking slaps, and then I say Anytime. Anytime's really nice.
I want better for you.
I found out that she lived a block over from me when I lived in New York in the East Village.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever bumped into her. I mean, I don't remember. I never visually saw her. But also, everyone in the East Village kind of looks the same. So, could have.
I mean, I don't really have much more in-depth kind of thoughts about the album. I did enjoy it. It just didn't. If it had a little bit more variety to really make it.
Dig into it.
Yeah, to make it, because I don't know. I don't find with this album that I'm inclined to listen to all 40 minutes of it or whatever. I want to listen to a few songs or like the first half or the back half.
Have you listened to her newer stuff? She just released an album.
I did listen to
I'm
it.
not a fan.
You're not a fan?
There's one song, I think I like the song Ben Franklin, but there's something my buddy Lon used to say that I think about a lot when I listen to new music. He used to say, when I would show him songs sometimes, he would say, do you really like this song or do you like the artist so you like think this song is good?
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time he was just being cynic, but I do understand what he means, as in like, at the time it was the All-American Rejects. I still love the All-American Rejects, but I would listen to everything from the Move Along album and everything from the When the Wind Blows album, and he would just be like, gee, some of these songs, like, they're good, but like, if they were not by the All-American Remix, you probably would have heard them once and then never listened to them again. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's not true, maybe that's true. With the song Ben Franklin by her, which is the only song on the album I like, I'm like, do I really like this, or...
I liked the title track at first, Valentine, but I liked it the first few times, but now every time I think about, I should put that on, then the second after that I'm like, I should.
This song is just like waves above. I mean, I understand there are different sounds, but like there's so much more emotion in this album. Even though it's shallow, there's still like shallow emotion is still emotion. You know, we've all felt that shallow emotion before, but the new one's just kind of sad.
I don't think it is intended to be shallow. I just feel like on some level it comes across.
It's hard to. I'm sure it's hard to convey the feelings when you're a newer artist.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the interesting thing about Valentine is it does go a little deeper into sort of a personal life, but I don't know. It doesn't really pay off for me. I think maybe the third album will really strike.
What's that about?
I don't know. I'm just saying in general.
She had an album before this one though.
I think there was an EP, but I think this one.
Static Age is a good song by her. It's a good song.
So you saw her live, yes?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so I saw her live. I bought the tickets because I wanted to take a girl to the show. A girl you know, a girl that I dated, a girl who, like most people that follow you on Instagram, will never see this. Specifically this far into the video, so I can say, this is the intention. And then she wanted to go. I think we were planning on going together. And like a few days before, something came up. I don't know what. I think it was like auditions or something. So I took Jacob Menendez. And this is like a very romantic album, I would say. Somewhat. It's a
either in the romantic content of the album, even if those relationships aren't all working out, it's like. There's still the oeuvre of a romantic.
What was the word you used?
Oeuvre?
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 What does that mean?
I don't think I'm using it correctly.
Tell me.
Like the sort of general essence of the thing.
How do you spell it? We'll come back to it.
Ouervo, and then I think there might be some accents in there, but I could be mistaken.
When I saw her live perform out, I was very drunk, which is, you know me. It's not a typical occurrence. It's like maybe once a year, twice a year occurrence. Not even very drunk. Like getting drunk at all is a once or twice a year occurrence. So I was expecting to have a really good time, and I had just I saw her, and then the week before that I had seen Coin, which was a favorite band of mine at the time, and I didn't really think Coin was good live. And I had seen someone else very recently before that, and I was like, I like them live. And then when I saw Snail live, I remember thinking she sounded awful. She was doing the emotion behind her voice again, but it just wasn't hitting. I remember thinking to myself, maybe I just don't like live music. Maybe that's what I'm just starting. Maybe I don't like live music, and then, that's not the case. I think this album just has a lot more done to her voice than we realized. The other thing with this album that I realized in the car ride over is I think I like the songs the most that she is harmonizing over. Mm-hmm. The ones where it's not just like, let's find it out, it's just her. But then like, Full Control, Heat Wave, Pristine, she's singing over herself in a lot of these choruses. And that's when I really like it. Maybe that's I think when the emotion strikes the most. Mm-hmm. But I probably wouldn't see her again, which is surprising because I would see the All-American Regis again. They were fucking awful. It's just like I remember so distinctly. I might even have the video on my phone somewhere. Probably not at this point though. I'm so tired of moving on. I hear it so distinctly. Oh my god, someone's got to tell her. Like, that's what I thought to myself. Someone's got to tell her. Like, maybe we go easier on that one.
I would say, in my sort of summation, it's a good album. It didn't have that punch it needed to really ramp it up to like a top 10 of what we've done so far kind of album. But yeah, it just didn't have that. But it's in there. It's in the 20. I would say top 20 or so.
I would say it's not a top 10 album.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying of what has
Yeah,
been
yeah,
done on the show so
I would
far.
say it should not be a top 10 album
Yeah.
on the show. I don't think it should be a top 10 album on any list. But I do think for me it was a very important album. That's what I'd
Yes.
say.
And it's definitely, I would say it's definitely very good. I think it just depends on the person if they're gonna really connect to it or be sort of like us where
Yeah.
we're a bit.
Well, I do really connect with it, but I just think it's still. I really connect with it the same way. Like, it's good to eat at Olive Garden. Like, it's
Yeah.
not obviously it's not McDonald's, and it's still of some level of quality, but it's not like it's nothing special, nothing unique.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the more basic albums that I listen to in this genre. Usually, the kind of thing, the hyper specific stuff. Usually, the stuff I listen to in the alt rock, specifically like female-led alt rock, is like very. Like I think that's. I know I keep talking about it. The Lucy Dacus song "Night Shift." You know that song?
Yep.
That's one of the reasons I love it so much. Is similar vibe, very guitar heavy, very rock heavy, emotional. But she says like the first time. It starts with the first time I tasted somebody else's spit, I had a coughing fit. That's like even if that's not true, it's just like I can imagine. I can relate to that in like a way that like maybe the first time after I kiss someone after not wanting to after being with someone else that I whatever, it felt foreign. Like there's just so much more nuance to these specific types of music, whereas this album is just very like it's the Strokes, like I would not say the Strokes are new. I love the Strokes. They're not nuanced. I've never been like except in the Voids. In the Voids, I'm like, Julian Casablancas is a great lyricist. In the Strokes, I'm like, these lyrics are like, I want new friends, but they don't want me.
Yeah.
Making friends while I watch TV. Like, what? What does that even mean?
I want
New
But
friends.
it's about how it's arranged and how he sings.
Yeah,
it
totally. And this album is an arrangement heavy album.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's all it's the material is here, and then the way it's produced elevates it to here, but it doesn't reach here for me. And so, but recommend. I would listen to it.
What else would I recommend it?
So I think that's our thoughts
Cool.
on Snail Mail by Lush. This was kind of impromptu.
Lush by Snail Mail.
Lush by Snail Mail. This was kind of
It
impromptu.
was a little impromptu.
It was a little impromptu, so
I'm glad we got
so it is interrupted. It has appeared between the conclusion of the Tame Impala duology, which at some point maybe
Wait, when's the next Tame Impala album?
40 out 40
How long
50
does it take?
albums from that. We're like 2.5 years. Ben, you have anything to plug?
Let's just hope my uncle beats the tumor.